Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for your patience. You were saying, Leo, about creating the alliance of folks working together, and that's where we'll pick back up.
Right. So our efforts have led to us becoming somewhat of a central hub for our area here. The Aarakocra you see here and the dwarf that you see here both had gone to stabilize. I immediately ran to investigate to see what the cause of the explosion may have been. I was accompanied by Tali, and we found that the explosion having occurred right outside of Fala's. Have you spoken with her yet?
He flips through a few papers. Yes. Yes, we have.
I'm sure she told you the same that she did to me. She kind of saw the explosion, was watering her plants, and carried on from there. And she had seen a man, and I relayed this to the guard that came to close down the area, limping away after having perhaps stolen something off of one of the corpses. I don't know if your cavalry. What was it? What was the cavalry riding?
The Griffin Rider.
Griffin Rider. I don't know if your Griffin Rider had gotten word to you yet, but I had sent a message to him to keep an eye out for a man limping with a cloak,
And
heading towards the Bentnail.
he writes a couple things down in his small book, and he also seems to make a check mark next to something in the book, and he nods and just seems to wait for you to continue.
I am. Can I see what? Like, can I roll an insight check on him and see if he's like looking to perhaps catch us out, or if he is just taking like a genuine interest in like our statements?
Yeah, make an insight check. That's the wrong screen. I can't see what you rolled. Oh, yeah, he's really hard to read. He seems to be just. I mean, I think you're having a hard time with the dichotomy of what he looks like versus his position, because he looks like he should be rocking out at a concert somewhere, as opposed to running an investigation. And so I think that might be throwing you off just a little bit. But he seems very patient, and he doesn't seem to be like there's no leading questions or anything. He's just listening at this point, is what the gist is that you get.
There was a noblewoman that we ran across that seemed to have also seen a puppet or a marionette, perhaps an automaton, on one of the roofs. I don't know. Have you interacted with her yet?
He flips through his notes and says, yes, she's on the list, but we haven't interacted with her quite yet.
I think it's Mrs. Trench. I might recommend seeing her post haste, as she may have some useful information for the investigation. As far as we were able to discern, she had just seen and perhaps what may have been an automaton throw something into the crowd slightly before the explosion from the rooftops.
He looks down at his notebook, and he basically scribbles something down into it, and then says,
Yes, yes. I thank you for the information.
and he says, please do go on.
I'm going to put my hand up and make a face like I'm about to sneeze, and I'm going to cast message to Methalus. Can I do that? Or your mouth doesn't need to move for message,
Your
right?
mouth does not need to move for message. No.
Okay. So
But actually, you know what? Click on message for just 1 second. It is verbal and somatic, so yes, you must actually say the thing. Yeah, you have to whisper the message.
Okay. Never mind.
Now, the target is the only one that hears it, but people can see that you're actually, casting a spell and moving your lips. I guess the best way to say that.
What if you just sit there and just look like you're thinking about stuff, like,
Yeah, that doesn't work. You literally, because if you look in the spell, it says V, S, and M. That means that it requires materials, which the copper wire is what he's got to use. And then he has to literally say the words for the magic spell. And you can see that it's magic happening. That's what the S means, is somatic. And V is verbal. So it's
Could
not
the,
like
could the
something
somatic portion of it be like faking a sneeze? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm not.
I mean, not really, because it's like a glow or something, generally.
Okay. No. I'll circle around because I had seen him with
why not pretend like you got to grab a drink or something from behind the thingamajig, and while you're reaching down for it, just do the thing.
Yeah, would work, but I'm just going to turn to Methalus and say, "You still have that that necklace that we had acquired?"
Of course I do. And go ahead and bring it out. It's right behind the bar.
Ah, yes. A young boy who watched his friends die said something about a necklace being deposited into a barrel. He looks at it for a moment. And am I to understand that there were only 2 charges on it when it came into your possession?
Correct.
Yes.
As you see it is as we received it from the boy.
Very
We did
good.
not know if there would be an investigator of competent skill, and so we sought to begin the investigation post haste.
A necklace of fireball. I don't know how one of these made it into the city walls. And he frowns.
Perhaps I can assist in that matter. I believe that 2 of the associates who were hit by the fireball were members of the Zentrum who are well known for smuggling goods in and out of the city or otherwise within the city. So if the Zentrum are involved in this, then that could explain that.
Make me a persuasion check, Dryzen.
How'd I do? I did. That's all right. That's all right.
He arches an eyebrow at you and says, "Quick work. He taps his notebook for a moment. He strums his fingers across it. And he says, Crumley, and motions with his head towards the door. And Crumley gets up and he walks outside, closes the door behind him. He says, as I said, it hardly seems plausible, but you would unleash destructive magic so close to your place of business in broad daylight? And I cannot let you join the investigation. However, your man here is not wrong.
In my venerable opinion, the gnome was running from armed pursuers, of which there were 3. The third person, who is chasing the gnome, is not amongst the dead. It seems the gnome and his pursuers were moving towards the tavern in Trollskull Alley. As well as I can ascertain, neither the gnome nor his pursuers saw the blast coming.
He says, that is, as far as I can tell, all the information that we have at the moment. You said that this other woman had some more interesting information? This noble woman outside of the Tiger's Eye?
Yes, correct. I think it may be a Mrs. Trench that you may be looking for there.
I don't think so, no. There is no Mrs. Trench. Vincent Trench owns the Tiger's Eye.
What? Okay, hold on. This is Lou not understanding something by his notes.
Yeah.
I thought that she had said that her husband, she's employing Mr. Trench.
Yes.
Or she didn't say her name or her husband.
Yes, you guys never asked.
Right, okay. Roll it back, pretend I didn't say it.
Okay.
Yes, the noble lady that had recently perhaps engaged Mr. Trench for some of his services.
And do you care to share what she shared with you?
Oh, simply what I had said earlier regarding a perhaps puppet-like figure in or on automaton that had thrown something from a rooftop into what appeared to be the crowd moments before the explosion.
He actually strokes the curled ends of his mustaches for a moment. And he thinks about something. So something along the lines of an automaton like those used in parades.
Yes, like the ones used by the House of Gone.
He looks at you and nods. Very good. As I said, protocol would not allow me to allow you and your adventuring crew to assist in this. Just trust in the watch. And I thank you for your time. And he gets up. And he says, yes, I just had one last question for you, Master Dreisen, if I'm saying that correctly.
Yes.
An onlooker saw you empty out a pouch from the dead gnome's person. Can you tell me what was in it?
They appeared to be valuable gemstones of some kind, and they remained on the person, which would imply that this isn't financially motivated. So probably a targeted strike of some sort on the gnome. If we can figure out who he was, then that would probably be a decent lead, but...
And how many gems were in there?
I want to say roughly 5 or 6 of them. It didn't seem important, the exact number at the time, so I just put them back in the bag.
He flips through his binder and looks at something and puts a check mark. Very good. That is all I have for all of you. Thank you for your assistance and your forthcoming.
I totally missed he was Columbo until this last bit.
No, he's Jerry Garcia Colombo. Get it right. And he says, remember, trusting the watch. And he exits the premises and takes the captain or the sergeant with him.
I'm going to put my head down on the bar and just look over at Atali and say, "Hit me on the shoulder if you need me," and just put my head down and appear to fall asleep to anybody that's there, but obviously watching through Tika to try to keep an eye on the subsequent investigation in case there's anything that we had missed.
Okay. I'm gonna skip ahead just a little bit for like 15 minutes of in-game time. In that time, what you learn, Leo, is that he basically tells Cromley that all of you had confirmed all of the ancillary accounts from other people about who was where during that entire time, and he has a pretty good timeline set up of everything that happened and all of the people's movements, that you guys are not suspects. In fact, you're incredibly truthful and honest, and that he wonders out loud to Cromley whether any of the menagerie are Harper's, Lord's Alliance, Order of the Gauntlet, or Zemtrim, and whether they will petition their faction representative to hire a cleric to cast Speak with the Dead on one or more of the fatalities.
What was the last one? Harper's, Lord's Alliance, or
Order of the Gauntlet or Zemtrim. He says to Cromley, "This may yet not be the last time we see the menagerie involved in this."
I don't know why he says that. We can speak to the dead. They're like working behind the counter.
it was good, JR. It was good.
We all no sold it. It was pretty good, actually.
I mean, it seems like it's either stale or whatever else, and so reasonably I can come back to.
Yeah. The only other thing you noticed is that clerics did arrive. They started basically helping where necessary, but there's not much for them to do since Quark and Grimblefuzz seem to do most of the heavy lifting there. But they do cast Gentle Repose on all of the corpses, and they then transport them away at that point. And that is all you, and at that point they leave the area.
Oh yeah. I come to, and the bar only consists of us and Grimblefuzz at this point, right? Like we've got nobody else in here, right?
No, at this point, no. It had been too early. Like, you guys were having your morning meal and getting ready to open the bar. And then this all happened, and nobody's opened the bar officially.
Have we found staff yet?
So
We are
far,
the staff.
yeah.
No.
So far, a couple of you have been working down there on certain shifts, but ASOS has managed pretty well. He does need some. Actually, you had hired some
That's what I thought.
serving people. Yeah, you had hired some serving people. Yes.
Yeah, because we were tired of worrying about this, right?
But I believe they would have been caught behind the cordon and not been able to come in.
I was just making sure. I didn't want to have to go through the.
No, you did hire people. I remember this.
I'll relay to the room that we seem to be under no such suspect, except that the investigator believes that we may not let this lie.
It's a fair assumption given our group.
And I'll turn to Grimblefuzz and say, "What's your story? Missed what's been going on with you through all this."
Well, at one time,
I suppose I was a paladin. Probably not so much now, but I've still got some skills and some time left, so might as well make the best of what I've got left, right?
Sure. Now you find yourself reasonably capable, willing to get into a little bit of
Well, I'm
dirtying of your hands?
I'm gonna stop you at this point.
Okay, go for
Yeah,
it.
you totally know Grimblefuzz. Lou doesn't, but Leo does.
Leo knows him. Never mind.
Yeah,
Retcon.
everybody knows him. We haven't filled in those player gaps.
I wasn't
Oh,
I wasn't
okay.
entirely sure where I stood with the party.
yeah,
either,
no,
Mark, so-
yeah, no. You're part of the group at this point.
I thought this was going to be like some sort of Mandela effect stuff where it's like, he's always been a part of this group. What are you talking about?
No, he's not always been a part of the group, but yeah, for the
Because
last,
we're recounting in the tales and everything at this point, and we've
Exactly.
forwarded in time.
you got it.
Okay.
Who this
You got
man is.
Yes.
Yep.
So
Alright.
that's just a heads up note for me because I had to do that in order for us to move forward from where we were at. So we'll fill that in later, quote unquote.
I
But
was supporting cast up until this point. At least that's how I got it.
he was bait at the end of a fishing hook, is what he was saying. Supporting
Yeah.
cast.
Yeah, potato, potato.
All right.
Are does the cordon seem like it's still underway and going on at the moment?
It does still seem like it's cordoned off, but probably in the next 30 minutes to an hour, it will come down.
Do we have a back door?
I'm sorry, could you ask that again?
I would imagine I'd be familiar enough with the layout of Trollskull Manor by now. Do we have a back door, and would it be reasonable enough to slip out the back door and get through an alley out of the cordon?
The how do I explain this? Technically, yes, there is a back door and there is a back alley, but that has also been cordoned off.
Okay. So, no.
So basically, there are 3 main entrances to Troll Skull Alley, and all 3 were cordoned off.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now, had you done that from the start, then you might have made it outside the cordon. But since you went to the blast, then no. 'Cause
Yeah.
the 2 main ones where the blast happened were cordoned off first, and then when the extra group of 20 after that came, then that back one was cordoned off as well.
All right. So I guess we need to figure out our plan of attack from here on out. We could probably reach out to our different organizations and see if they have any information. Or we can try and chase down some of the other leads, like the bar that you were talking about, the one guy running off to. Leo. Or
Yeah.
see if we can talk to the Hand of Gond or whatever. That-
Above table,
well,
did anybody mention the construct like thing that they saw?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. To see if they're missing any automatons or something along those lines.
Automaton.
Quick out of context here. What was the spell that allows for like a folding of a paper for origami and then it behaves like that?
I think it was called either paper animal or paper bird. I think. I know one of you has one.
Yeah, that was me, but my character sheet didn't get updated. That was after the whole like blood armor
It's literally called
claw
paper,
thing.
paper bird.
Paper bird.
The other option is we could leave this alone. This doesn't seem to be a direct attack on us. This is a matter for the guard. There doesn't seem to be any direct need for our involvement. I mean, aside of, the blatant gall of someone to cast such a spell in the city in midday,
ASOS pipes up at that point. He says, "Yes, but didn't the man say that the gnome was headed to your establishment?"
He said he was heading to the alley. I don't remember if
Were
there
we
were
expecting someone
He said the
to?
tavern in the alley, I think is what he said.
Were we
Hmm.
expecting someone to check in here?
Not that I'm aware of. There were no marks on him. You didn't notice any sign of the Harpers or the Emerald Enclave, Dryzen?
No signifying marks of any organizations that I'm aware of, at least. And that's a fair number here in the city. Then again, we're not getting paid for this either.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
But it helps get our name out so we can get more people in.
And I suppose there is the Leo's, excuse me, wrong L name, Leo's alliance to consider. Attack on one is an attack on all, per se.
I thought I was the only one worried about money.
But the suggestion was made. There was, I believe, Leo recounted the suggestion of hiring a cleric. I mean, we could work on that and see if we can get access to the gnome's body.
Have to find where it's being held, though.
I
And
imagine
hope
the
our
people-
organizations can get
I
access.
would imagine the people from our organizations have access to such things.
Enough.
ASOS says, "It's common for the houses and alliances to be able to have access to public investigations. The only thing you need is money, of course." And he jingles some of the silver pieces from the register.
So I guess a group of us could probably go to Mert and talk about that. I could probably head to Forest Grey, see if, since this has connections to the Zentrum, if they've got any information, since I've worked with them previously on that front. And I guess if anyone wanted to accompany, I wouldn't say no. When I don't know what our other objectives would be, if anyone has any ideas, other than the Hand of Gond or whatever it was, that we could reach out.
I'll go with you, lad.
House of Gond. All right. So I guess Grumblefizz and I are headed to Blackstaff. Who wants to talk to Mert?
Don't
Isn't our
everybody volunteer at once.
isn't
I'll
our
handle Mert.
isn't our contact now 3 fingers or 2 toes or
3
whatever
fingers.
3 fingers at the yawning portal, right?
Correct.
Then him then. Well, them. That one.
Well, I mean, I can head out there and speak with 3 finger.
I'll accompany you.
So
I always like to go see Durnan.
So,
and the tally's manning the bar.
from somewhere deep below the bowels of the tavern, you hear ASOS shouting, "Rule number 1, don't split the party." Just saying. But you can totally split the party if you want to.
I
Let's
suppose
all
we
go
could,
Might as
together.
well.
we could all go to one and then go
Let's
together.
go
I
all go
suppose.
together.
Okay,
All
so
right, 3 fingers first then.
We're
I
all
suppose.
gonna be safe, and we're all
3
gonna have a
fingers
good
together.
time.
All right, ASOS says, as soon as the others arrive, I will open the bar.
Thank you.
And
So everyone takes a short rest while we wait for the cordon to.
good luck. Oh, yeah, just like, I mean, yes, if you expended spell slots, you could take a short rest.
Yes,
But if
I will.
if otherwise you would have been a fresh rest, full rest, unless you expended spell slots.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
gonna
I was healing,
let
so.
I'm gonna let ASOS know that if people come in saying they survived the blast, they can get 10% off. I did say that. So if they come in and mentioning 10% off, that's me promoting this place, and to please honor that.
He looks at you, says, "What's wrong with you?"
Getting our name out there. Getting our name out there.
Okay,
He's your kid.
that's what frightens me.
Guards that come in get 20% off.
What? No.
Whoa, no. No.
What's wrong with you?
We gotta make our money up somehow. Charge them 10% more.
If our markup's only 20%, we're doing something horribly wrong.
So, okay. So let me lay out the 3 things and you tell me what you want to do in what order. So you have 3 fingers. You had the House of Gond. And what was the third thing? There was another thing you were going to do.
Black staff.
Black
Staff.
staff. Yeah. So what order do you want to do that in? Because 3 fingers is due west of you. Blackstaff Tower is northwest of you, and then the House of Gond is on the map somewhere.
So there's no way we can just go in a straight line from one to the next to the next. We're going all across the city.
No, not really. I mean, it'd just be 3 points across the city. I'm just not sure where the last one is. So give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Okay, let me take me back to the last one. All right, her. Water. Okay. It is not on my map. Why? Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. That's why. House of Inspired Hands.
How dare you, sir?
I know, right?
Oh, sorry.
How dare you, sir?
Anybody want to play cards?
Not with a 27. So the short and sweet version of this is the only one that's really not in a straight line is Blackstaff Tower. So from where you guys are,
A straight line doesn't matter. We'll just hire a coach and let's go.
yeah, the House of Inspired Hands is the Temple of God. And that's due west in the Seaward from where you guys are. Literally, you could take Dolores Street from where you are all the way down to the House of God.
You know we don't have the map of...
I know you don't.
Okay.
I'm just telling you because I don't have maps for tonight. We're doing
10
it
out of
theater
10
of the
immersion
mind.
broken.
That's right. No, keep it in your mind, then it's not.
Oh, okay.
You'll just have to go to the north side of the city for the Blackstaff Tower. So, what order would you like to do? Three Fingers and the Yawning Portal is pretty much along the same lines as Dolores and Street. So it's really like they're close together. The only one that's not is Blackstaff. So what
Okay.
order would you like to do?
Might as well go to the one that's furthest up north first and then save the Yawning Portal for last. Kind of work our way down there. That way, once we're done with all that, we can just have a drink.
Okay. You charter coach. You're at the Blackstaff Tower in about 20 minutes. And you see it's Grimblefuzz, this would be the first time that you've been to Blackstaff Tower. It is a giant black round tower with a castle gates entry being watched by two mages in gray cloaks.
Oh, that's fancy.
And it looks like it might be 30 stories.
How much money do you think they wrung out of the taxpayers for that one?
I think this one's privatized.
Yeah. All right. So I guess I'll head up to one of the guards and I'll be like, the menagerie to Lady Vajra about some matters concerning the recent explosion in Troll Skull Alley.
Very well. They let you pass.
All right, and I guess I'll head in if anyone else is coming.
Oh, I'll definitely head in.
Yeah, I'll follow.
I'll go.
Nice show of force. You going in as well, Matt?
Oh, I suppose peer pressure wins.
Okay. You all head to the elevator. The circular platform begins to raise. And you go up all like 28 stories, and you come to rest in the study of Vajra, who is sitting behind her large desk writing in journals.
Hello there, Lady Vajra.
Ah, the menagerie, all of you today. And to what do I owe this pleasurable visit?
Well, if only it were under better circumstances. I'm sure you've heard by now, but there was an explosion in Troll Skull Alley that caused a fair bit of damage and a number of lives lost. And I figured I'd share what information I had with you and see if you had any information for us.
Indeed, I'd be happy to share what we know. And she basically recounts the information they have, which is shockingly very similar to the information you have. The only thing they don't have is the information about the automaton.
Okay. So I suppose we fill them in on that bit. I guess Leo knows more about that than I do, but I guess I heard the conversation. Well, there was one other piece of information that you don't have. Turns out there was also an automaton seen fleeing the scene, hypothetically, potentially involved back. And we believe it's similar to the ones used by the House of Gond, but we're not quite sure. We haven't gone over there yet to investigate. I figure it can't be good if the Zentrum are involved.
Most likely not. Are you going to petition anyone to have a cleric speak with the dead?
We're thinking about contacting the Harpers, but if you have individuals just as capable, you might as well. We could save ourselves a trip.
I do, and we know where we have access to the temporary resting place of the bodies.
Let's say the gnome that was trying to get away.
Yeah. So
the gnome and the two individuals
Assailants.
chasing after him are all being housed together. There is a matter of 25 gold for each casting of the spell, and you will need to provide a list of questions you want answered. You will be allowed to observe, but you are not allowed to interact. So you may not ask questions on the fly. Everything according to our agreements with the clerics, you must submit everything in writing in advance.
all right.
I would assume that's pretty standard.
That is pretty standard. They generally don't like, how do I say this? Most clerics consider death to be a release or a sacrifice, or
Mm-hmm.
the end of the journey, and they almost consider this spell in this day and age necromantic, and so they do it as little as they possibly can. So-
Extenuating circumstances only.
Yeah, pretty much. And they
Yeah.
are extremely rigorous about rules and making sure that no one takes advantage of what they're doing or twists it in any way. So generally, Meathless, when you've seen this done in your lands, you would remember that the clerics generally will have a cleric casting the spell, and there will be a cleric transcribing what the corpse says. And no one is allowed to address the corpse directly. So this sounds like pretty standard procedure from what you remember. And you've probably only seen it once in your entire life.
This is enough for me.
Leo, you would have never seen this done, so this is probably very intriguing to you. Dryzen, you definitely have never seen this done. Grimble Fuzz, you probably have seen it once.
I've seen worse. No.
But that was there, not here.
Correct.
Right.
So it was probably a very different
Probably.
very different situation there.
Nitali, I know you've never seen it, and Quark, you've never seen it.
How many questions do we get?
That's a great question. That was it. Sorry. Just got the one. 5 questions per casting. So 25 gold for 5 questions.
Mm-hmm.
Suppose we better make them good ones then, eh?
You'd be surprised we have a bit of gold laying around.
Oh, well. No worries then.
And she goes on to say, keep in mind that the questions that you can ask, it can't learn new information. It's stuck where it died, so it will not comprehend anything that has happened since it died. It cannot speculate about future events. And also, there is no compulsion to offer a truthful answer under certain circumstances. That's one of the reasons the clerics acts as middlemen to temper that as much as possible.
So you're saying the whole thing could just be us paying for a handful of lies?
Generally, that's only if it recognizes the person asking as an enemy or if they are hostile to it. And that is why the clerics do not allow direct contact. The clerics should not be interpreted as such, and you should receive truthful information because of this.
We want to take some time to write down some questions or figure out some questions we want answered.
She hands you a couple pieces of parchment and a quill and says, Floor 18 is a private conference room. Please feel free. When you are done, give it to any guard or runner, and I will have them dispatched, and you will be notified when the ceremony is to occur.
Thank you.
And you'll pay the cleric at the temple, not us.
Like,
And she
Well
motions for you all towards the elevator. Friendly, but motions.
get the
Seems our time here is done.
She
A pleasure as always, milady. And I head back for the elevator.
She nods to you. She grins at you, Grimblefuzz. I would much rather socialize than return to ledgers, reports, and waging war. Perhaps next time.
A rain check then. And I'll turn and go out.
Unless anybody's specifically staying back, the elevator takes you to floor 18. There is indeed a private conference room with many pillows and couches. What questions will you ask?
You said it was 5 questions?
5 questions per cast.
I've got 4 written down here. I'm talking that character. Back in character, I guess. So I think the most important things we need to figure out, especially for the gnome, is why he was coming to Trollskull Manor, why he was with the members of the Zentrum, who may have wanted to kill him, and probably who he is. I think those are pretty 4 important things we need to find out if we're to get any progress with this.
Above table, we established that we were not expecting his arrival. We picked up in process that he was heading there.
Yes.
Just
I
as
understood it.
Just as a question, did we have anyone staying here? Was there anyone may have been expecting him?
sideboard. Is Trollskull Manor an actual inn at this point, or are we just using it, the rooms to stay in, and we're just having it as a tavern?
Yeah, you're currently not renting out rooms, if I remember correctly. You are allowing for conferences / parties in the big
Right.
room on the second floor,
Right.
but I do not believe that you are actually renting it as an inn, except in
Oh, okay,
weird-
so there's no accommodations here yet.
There are,
But we're using them to sleep in.
yes.
Got it.
So-
Okay.
There are
so
personal rooms.
They're
Yeah.
accommodations, but they're our accommodations.
that's correct. That's correct.
All right.
You know what? Let me see if I can. I have to copy all of you first. Hold on 1 second. Just so you get an idea of what we're talking about here. I gotta move you all together. Give me 1 second. Do. No, that's fine. I can grab you from there. Frustrating. There we go. Copy. Oh no, that's not gonna work because I need Grimble Fuzz too. Do. Go. Layer tokens. There we go. So if I do that, I'll get all of you. No, why? Why? Because I'm on the normal layer, aren't I? Objects and tokens. There we go. Okay, so if I do that, I will get all of you. Copy. Now we have to find the map. Sorry, standby one.
Unacceptable, sir.
Actually, I guess the only one I really need is Jimmy. Because everybody else should be on Troll Skull Manor's map already. So copy you. And now find Troll Skull.
Oh, look at that. I can see things.
Oh, that's why you couldn't see. Because I had you hidden, tucked away
How dare you, sir?
in my back pocket for a rainy day.
Oh.
Why? Sorry, standby one. There it is. Nope. That's the old one. So frustrating. Okay, there we go. So if I do that and I move you to here,
Oh my.
and you'll probably need to reposition everything, and I need to probably remove some
Very
people off
fancy,
here.
sir.
Oh, can you see it?
Was this did you do this in Tailspire or
No, this was done in Dungeon
Alchemist?
Dungeon Alchemist, yeah.
Yeah, bro, that program's amazing.
I know. Trust me. Dryzen, Quark. Yeah, Hellman's not here right now. And we can move you. Oh, I got Quark too somehow. Quark's dancing on the bar. Drunk already. Okay, can you let one of you go, please? Thank you. There we go. There we go. I think everybody is on the right layer. You can see, yes?
Yes. I can.
Jim, you can see?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. So this gives you an idea of what it looks like currently, and you can move around and see the second floor, third floor, etc.
I can see the entire map.
Yes, good.
Okay.
The rain is gone.
Outstanding.
I can see all obstacles in our way. All right, so that is that. Oh, did you not see my response?
How are you talking to me?
Oh, is it? Yeah. Okay. Not yet. You don't. You might be able to. Yes. You know what I'm
Thank you.
saying.
Yep.
Okay. So yes. So again, kind of theater of the mind. We are. So you are. Yes. So you do that. We were working on questions. Which, do you all have the notes pulled up? And are you writing the questions down in that so I can access it later?
I've just been writing them on paper here, what I've had so far.
You should
There's
throw
the
those in the
notes.
notes.
Working on it.
It is in the chat of Zoom.
In the Zoom chat. Thank you. And Jimmy, I will make sure that you have access to this as well.
Hi. Arigato gozaimasu.
Hi. Doitashimashite. Share. Is there anybody else that does not have access to it?
Me.
Sean does not. All right. So Sean. editor. Send. Okay, Sean, you should have it now, and I'm getting you in there right now. Jimmy, which one do you want me to use? Just say the first. I know the number, and in the end, I just need which
The
one.
one that you sent the invites to.
Yeah, I sent it to both. Carpe or the other one?
The other one.
Okay, thank you. Share. Is that the one I should be using for everything?
In this case, yes.
Okay. There you go. You should have just received
Thank you, sir.
clearance. And you can read everything from the beginning of the campaign till now.
Okay.
I don't think we have a resident note taker at the moment, but feel free, whoever would like to.
I am not good at note taking.
Yeah, I've been taking notes.
Okay, good
but
deal.
The
Thank
whole
you.
way through.
You are
Thank
a
you.
scholar, sir. Thank you.
I mean, literally, that's what he's playing.
Oh, God, it's perfect.
So, yes, that is the notes. Actually, I'll just leave this up on the screen while you guys discuss it.
Didn't they say that guy stole something from him that was running away?
No, that's the guy that's still alive.
Right. That the guy that's still alive stole something from the gnome and ran away, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I guess we could ask him what. Well, he wouldn't know what they took from him because he would have been dead by that point, and they can't
Were you
remember things
carrying
from.
anything important?
Yeah.
Not who besides the Zentarum. I think were you carrying anything important?
I'm sorry. Did you say it has to be yes or no questions, or it can be anything?
No, it can be anything.
Okay.
Does not have to be yes or no questions.
Okay.
I guess figuring out if they have connections to the hand of.
I don't know how to spell menagerie. Huh. Looks like I got it
No,
right.
you got it right.
So it was very specifically said per casting. How many times can you cast it on the same corpse? Is there a limit?
You
or
know
is
what?
It...
I think there actually is a limit. Let me check.
It might only be once.
I believe it's once per day. Now that I'm thinking
Okay.
about it. Speak with dead.
No, there's no limit
No.
on Speak with Dead for
Sure
the number
not.
of times that you can cast it.
Yep,
Mm.
there's not. I thought there
We wanna
was.
throw
But,
down.
yeah,
Corpse
We
can't
wanna throw
learn new
down-
information. It doesn't comprehend anything that has happened since it died, and it can't speculate about future events.
Right.
what's up, Jimmy? Welcome to the stream. Hello there.
What?
Hello there.
So if we have more than those 5, we could, wanted to plunk down another 25. We could ask him more than just the 5.
Is your name Tony? What's your name?
Can you list off the questions we already wrote down?
Yeah, that's what I. Well,
Yes.
2 of them I ended up surmising into one,
So
which is
far,
this first one, and then I added that one.
the questions for the gnome are: why were you coming to Troll Skull Manor? Why were you being hunted by the Zentarim? Were you carrying anything important for the menagerie? Who do you work for? And what is your name and title? Those are the 5 questions for the gnome. For the Zentrim, why were you hunting the gnome? Who ordered you to chase the gnome? And that's where you're at.
Anybody?
Seems like good questions right there. Should
What
cover everything.
I was also going to say I was trying to think of how to phrase it.
What were the names of your associates?
I'm just
What necessitated the gnome being assassinated?
Isn't that why were you hunting? The gnome?
Yeah.
I guess we could ask him what they wanted from the gnome, which is kind of a little bit different. Why they're chasing him could be something simple as like because we were told to, or because the boss said so, right? Whereas what did they want from the gnome could be something different, but they're not under
Yes.
direct
Yep.
compulsion to answer, so phrasing is a little less important, but
Yeah.
What is your name and the name of your associates? Is that
Is
one
Troll
question
Sc-
or 2?
Is Troll Skull Manor a target?
Ooh, nice.
That's a good one.
and we could probably ask this one or the other one what these interim want with the menagerie if they do want something. Let's see if, which I mean is kind of the same thing, but
Yeah, they, if we ask this one what the names of his compatriots were, and then we ask the other one what his name is, then we could figure out what the name of the one who got away was.
the problem with questioning these two is they're much less likely to give us a straight answer than the gnome. So I
Okay.
wonder if it might be better to question one of the Zentrim and save some gold and then ask the gnome another 5 questions.
I think why were you hunting the gnome and what did you want from the gnome are basically the same question.
Yeah, again, it's a nuanced thing, right? It's splitting hairs.
So that leaves, well, if we take out why were you hunting or why were you hunting the gnome and instead put what is your name, and then we can use number 5 as what is the name of your compatriots.
Yeah.
What are the, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's more important to know what they wanted from the gnome than
Why it was necessary to kill him.
Just wrong button.
I guess that's the only other question, right? Is did they know the fireball was in play? That's not how you'd ask it, but that's the only other
Yeah.
thing. Is like it seems like all of them were caught unawares, and that seems to be the analysis of the guard as well. So, where is it a third party involved?
would I, with my background, know of anyone who might willingly instigate this sect of the Zentrim? In the within the underworld circles.
No, they're generally the instigators.
Okay,
I don't know.
because this is
Number 5.
I'm trying to be vague here, but this is the lesser branch, right? This isn't
Yeah.
the
So no, the good Zents are the lesser branch.
okay. So this is okay. So
These guys are the one. These
Okay,
guys are the ones
okay.
that are at war with the the
Okay,
Xanathar
okay.
Guild.
So then, okay, we need to. Okay. Never mind. We need to. We need to figure out if the gnome. We need to ask them if the gnome had to the Xanathar Guild. Okay. Add it back. Okay.
Yeah, basically the quote unquote good.
Right. So this is the one
yeah.
true.
Yeah, this is the original bad Zentrum.
Okay.
And just to be clear, Methalus, when you got your invitation that one evening, that was from the good Zents, not these.
Yeah,
Zents.
I figured that was the case.
Yeah.
So. I guess if we change this last one, we could ask him if the gnome had any connections to the Xanathar Guild.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah, because
putting
this
stuff out there.
kind of. Sorry, I'm trying to keep my thoughts straight from and trying to restrict what information is coming out of my mouth at the same time. Okay. Okay.
Well, is that something we want to ask them, or is that something we should be asking the gnome directly with a second line of questioning?
If we change it, who do you work for? We could change it to, do you work for Xanathar? Which again, he has no reason to tell us the truth one way or another. But if he was coming to us,
it's actually the other way around. Generally, the only time you don't get it is if they feel threatened by you, or you're a known enemy of theirs.
Okay.
And since the clerics are the ones doing the asking and getting the answers, then that should not be the case.
I guess we still got Z2 as well, to ask questions. Unless we don't think we need any more questions, or
I think if we get those answers, they may provide us with more questions we want to ask. I mean, we don't have an infinite amount of gold or anything, but we got a couple bucks.
Yeah, I think ask those questions first and then see what else comes up afterwards.
yeah. Well, we should probably yeah. We can always. Well, then we'd have to schedule another date, and I don't know the bureaucracy around this, right?
Well, I think more questions would be decided by what answers we get. It could just get redundant.
Right.
We can probably get them to give us, a good schedule or whatever by giving them some 10% off coupons here and there.
Oh man.
Guess I'm also gonna make this more specific. Okay. Okay, so if we're just going with these 10, I think that's based on my limited knowledge, I think that's probably the best set of 10 that we can get to get potentially some answers, and maybe also figure out some more questions if we need to,
Can dig it.
covering our bases. Yeah.
Okay.
So now I guess Dryzen kind of needs to explain a little bit why he has this information.
And how do you do that?
So you all are probably wondering how I came by some of this information. And when I was in the city, before I came to this city, I worked in a number of, let's just say, darker side of things. And when I came to the city, I figured it'd be important to figure out the lay of the land a bit. And I ended up doing a couple sting operations in order to get some money, and I figured out some of the information about specifically two groups who are in direct conflict with each other. One group is known as the One True Zentarim, which is branched off from what we know as the Zentarim, who is led by a man named Manshun. He's a pretty powerful magician. I don't know much about him, but I know that he was the one that caused the schism between the two branches of the Zentarim, and that they're often in open conflict with the Xanathar Guild, which, if this is something involved in that war between those two guilds, this could get complicated. And that's pretty much what he's going to say.
So who leads the Xanathar Guild?
Well, Xanathar does. And of course, they're one of the largest crime syndicates in this city. Kind of.
Meathless, you'd recognize that you've actually dealt with this group before. That's the one led by the Beholder. Xanathar's the Beholder.
Ugh. Forgot. My bad.
No, that's why I was saying you'd remember, for sure.
But yeah.
All right, we want to go to the temple and ask our questions.
Well, we have to give the sheet to the guard, and then they'll tell us when they're ready, was what we were told previously.
That is correct.
Yeah, we have to send a runner. Would there be a runner at like the base entrance level of the Blackstaff
Yeah.
Tower?
Yeah.
Okay. So and then we pay the clerics when they do the ceremony. So.
Gotcha.
Okay, and this comes to, other than, gosh, my brain's not working. Brain. The five of us, other than Jim, that'd be come to 10 gold apiece if we were going to split it for the 50, because I don't know how much money his character has. And I can't see the name for some reason.
It's Grimblefuzz, and
Grimblefuzz.
Grimblefuzz is not paid for a single drink at the inn yet that you've seen. But
How
also,
dare you speak for my money, sir.
but also no one's asked him.
Wow, bro, just throwing me under the. I did not take that as my flaw, sir. Don't you dare
I'm not.
try to.
I'm just saying.
Don't you try to gaslight me as a drunk,
I'm
sir.
not. I mean, well, okay. I don't know about that, but I'm just saying that you are a member of the party. No one has asked you to pay for beer, and so you have helped yourself to beer.
I will readily
And
pay
beer.
for my own beer.
Yeah,
sir.
right. But no one's asked you to, not once.
Oh,
So
well,
that's what I'm
alright.
saying. Is
Not what I meant to do. Sorry.
that's okay. So what I so I'm saying to Dryzen, he's never paid for beer, but at the same time, no one's ever
No,
asked him,
okay.
so you don't know how
Right.
much money he has.
Right. Grimble Fuzz, how are your funds looking?
I hold up a little leather pouch and jingle it. Oh,
more-
there's probably 10 coins worth of gold stone in here.
Is most of that just more of that guano?
No, I keep that in a separate pouch.
Oh, okay.
We don't want to make the poor man go broke.
What? Do you need funds?
Oh no, none of us
If
are
he
hurting.
continues to drink us out of house and home, he'll cause us to go broke.
See, this is exactly what I knew was coming, Mark, and it's all your fault. You made me an alcoholic before this even started.
Who, me?
No, the
Never.
other Mark.
Oh, did you mean Quark? What?
No.
I will have you know that
Yeah.
I drink 1 pint and pay for it.
You would probably have about, at this point of running with this crew, you'd probably have about, I'd say 400 dragons, which a dragon is gold. So same.
Oh geez, he's got about 2.5 times as much as I do.
Right?
This
but,
sounds
okay.
like you have a spending problem, sir.
No, I'm just new.
Not my fault. I'm a wizard.
How much did you say I had, Mark?
About 400 dragons.
Okay, so he can pay for it, right?
Right.
Just as soon as I see the taxpayer documents for everybody else in the party. Like, yeah, I mean, I'll throw in on it. I'm asking questions too, so
Yeah, I'm sure we can all pitch in 10 gold. That fits it
Yeah.
evenly, right? No,
Yeah.
6 of
Well,
us.
with 6 to
8
be
gold.
8.333333333333.
I'll throw in the 10.
So it'd be 9. It'd be 9.
I'll throw in
roughly.
the 10.
Okay. I now have under 100 gold. Just putting it out there. Feel bad for me, the wizard.
391 gold, Mark, for the records.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can somebody write in the notes that it's been paid? The 50 gold has been paid.
I will.
Thank you.
There. I'll highlight it for you too.
All right, so now you have a choice. You can go to the House of Gond, which I'm going to continue to call wrong because that's what I called it to begin with, and I shouldn't have. The House of Inspired Hands, which is the Temple of Gond. Or you can go to, I don't know that you need to, but you could, if you still wanted to, you could go to the Yawning Portal.
Because we kind of took care of our yawning portal thing here.
Right.
Yeah, the only thing would have been is if there was intel we could get from them that might have informed our questions, but we already asked our questions, so yeah, probably not as important.
I imagine they probably wouldn't have much more information either.
Unless he was an informant for them. So that'd be the only thing really.
Yeah, I guess we can still ask them if they have any information. We're going to be down in that part of town anyway. But I think the House of Creating Hands or whatever. I'm close.
I don't think you are. The House of Inspired Hands.
Inspired Hands. Okay. Creating Inspired. Muscleman. I don't know what I was doing there. But yeah, so I guess that's probably more important at the moment, I would think, but I don't know. That's where Dryzen wants to go. We'll go with that.
So, yes, and it is not the same as that other thing. I'm having a side conversation right now. Yes, and it's not the same as that other thing that I was saying before. So if you're fine with that, I'm fine with that.
There's no passing notes allowed in class, sir.
Oh yes, there is. It's called. You know how to whisper in here, right?
Yes.
Yes, I just have a bad habit of responding instead of
Fine.
because the person knows who I'm talking to, so it's fine. But yeah, feel free to whisper me at any time. So yes, Dreisen, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
I guess I think we should head to the House of Sparring Hands next. I think that's probably the pressing matter at this point to get the information from there. And then if we do get some information there, we can share it with the blanking on the name. The Hoppers when we go to visit Three Fingers to see if they have any other information that we don't have. If we want to do that still.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
Okay, you head to the House of Inspired Hands. You walk down the street. It's not hard to miss. The House of Inspired Hands, Waterdeep's Temple of Gond, sits on the corner of Seawatch Street and Shark Street in the Sea Ward. It looks like a cross between a temple and a workshop. The symbol of Gond, a toothed cog with 4 spokes, is displayed prominently. You see the silhouette of a humanoid shape, perching on the rooftop. It extends an arm, releasing a tiny metal sparrow into the sky. The bird does a few loops in the air and then veers right towards you. If I could have everyone roll initiative, please. Make sure that you click on your character before you do so. Oh, okay. Actually, hold on one second. I'm going to clear everything out and have you roll again because we got everybody in here for some reason. Methalus is the only one who's rolled. I'm going to leave him in there. So don't do it yet. Hold on. Maybe if I can get it to. No, maybe I will. Okay. Clear list. Clear. Methalus, I know you got a 21. Just roll and I'll fix it to a 21. What are we at?
Do we roll now?
Yeah, everybody's good to roll now.
Hey, I actually did okay on my initiative this time.
Leo and Quark are clearly the ones paying attention.
And Methalus.
Oh, also yes.
And that's funny because Arkin the Sparrow veers directly to you.
Bird goes to the bird.
No.
Bird.
No, it's not going to Quark. It's going to
No.
Arkin.
Grimblefuzz.
Oh,
Mr. Grimblefuzz.
Do. Let me check one thing here. Okay. I am going to do this after I move you guys. Do this. Does a 6 beat your AC?
no. Doesn't beat anybody's AC.
The answer is no.
The answer is no.
So the sparrow actually slams into your chest, into your armor, and crumples to the ground, unmoving. And
Well, scratch that one off the bucket list. I will. Is it like on the ground? Is it twitching? Like
it's
death throes?
No, it's like it smashes into like 1,000 pieces. It's some kind of clockwork automaton. And as that happens, the humanoid form that was on the roof withdraws somewhere into the roof or is gone. And with that, we will end for tonight. Thank you, everybody, for watching as always. We will be back tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Pacific. We're going to raid out after the outro. I want to see who we've got available to do that for. Let's go with...
Were we going to gain any experience for being in the spa?
Yeah.
That's a
Or
great question.
Any items or anything?
That's a great question. I'm glad you asked.
We
Is it
seem to
gonna
have a
get
giant
answered?
hole in our memory.
No.
That is correct.
I remember being there.
Yeah, you were definitely there.
No, see,
Just
this
can't
is
quite
like an
remember how it
OVA.
finished.
It doesn't count. It's this
But
is
yes.
an OVA.
This is an anime
Spring's
movie.
episode.
It is
There's
an
nothing
anime.
connected.
Listen, after watching all that stupid My Hero Academia, that's how I came
This
up
is
with this.
Did you
This
watch
is
all
the
4
filler
movies
arc.
too?
This
I
is the
did
filler
not
arc.
watch the movies because I'm not
The
insane.
movies are great, but
But yes, we will pick up next week. We're going to raid out to OG Joystick Shinobi. He's a good friend of the channel. He's a great streamer. He's playing Final Fantasy VII for the first time. So we're going to do that after we raid out. So until then, thank you to our bossest of boss patrons, Neo Sapien, Mr. J Nice, and Shank the Noob. We will be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 Central, 10 Eastern for Escape from Tarkov Tuesdays. Be excellent to each other. And of course, game on.
Game on.
Game
on.
Come on.
I need you closer than ever, ever than before. My life is wasted if I can't spend it all with you. I've lived in total darkness, now you're my only light. When you're away, I feel like a shadow in the night. Hold me, and look into my eyes. You'll be staying always by my side. I'll never let you go. No, I'll never let you go. You stay with me. I'll never let you go. No, I'll never let you go. You stay with me until the end of time. I used to look to the sky and all I saw was rain.